Rebel salute, rebel salute, rebel salute. This is Kenya Revolutionary. I hope you're doing well wherever you are. I'm glad to see you again for another session today. We are going to talk about ODM, Kicking Up Dust, Orange Democratic Movement. Hey, yeah, wameamua wa recruit vijana waanze kuregister, yeah, kwa sababu we might have an election, we might have a referendum. They are preparing also for 2027. Wamesema tuache kujali maneno mingi 2027 inakuja and we might have a referendum on the way. I'll tell you why. You might be wondering, what are you talking about? Referendum? What referendum? Yes, there's a good possibility it might happen. I will tell you why. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades, please, ukiona hii video tafadhali like mara moja, hata usingoje dakika 3. Ukiona tu hivi ni like, na kama huja subscribe, dunga hiyo subscribe mara moja. Hata usifikirie ukiona tu hii sura tu hivi namna hii, hiyo imekuja kwa subscribe. Ikikuja kwa feed yako, subscribe. That's the song, okay? Now like. And you can even comment. You can even join the studio if you want. Naweza kuwekea link hapo, ingie kwa studio tuongee if you want to talk, okay? So do that immediately. So let's start with the news, okay? I will not be wasting anybody's time by waffling and ranting. Of course, that's my specialty. I rant and waffle and also offer my view. But let's get ready. Tuanze na video ya kwanza. Tuangalie. Let's analyze what Raila said, because he said something big is cooking. Kuna kitu inafanya. Mawingu inakusanyika. Mvua iko karibu. Dalili ya mvua ni nini? Mawingu. Na anasema mawingu inaanza kugather. So let's find out what Mzee Raila Odinga was telling us. I guess yesterday they had a meeting somewhere in Nairobi. I forgot the venue, but it was somewhere in Nairobi. Was it Kamkunji or somewhere else? I forgot. But anyways, there was a meeting regardless. And there was some people who were making, several speakers who were making fiery speeches. Some of them were borderline. I'll let you make the judgment. But the one, Kajwang, I think his name is, the man was basically twerking for Raila Odinga. Twerking, yes, I said it right. But anyway, let's look at this video and say what's going on, because I think it kind of is very interesting. So let's go to the first video here and let's see. Aya, Gudia mengia. Hey, Gudia leo hajachelewa. I wish everyone will be like Gudia. Ukiona tu notification ndio hiyo umeingia. Gudia wewe leo tutakuingiza kwa studio usipojichunga. But let's look at the first video first before we get to Gudia. Aya basi, let's play the first video. Tuko ready? Aya, tuko chonjo? Ndio hiyo basi. All right, let's play it.
Raila Odinga has rubbished a high court ruling by Justice Mugure Thande directing the IEBC selection panel to proceed with the process of reconstituting the polls body.
Speaking as he presided over the ODM membership recruitment drive at the Kamkunji grounds, Odinga said the reconstitution of IEBC will only happen through a bipartisan process contained in the final report of the National Dialogue Committee. Chamatai Goin reports.
With the reconstitution of the polls body IEBC seemingly the next political battlefront, ODM leader Raila Odinga hit out at the court following an order directing the IEBC selection panel to immediately resume the process of reconstituting the commission, saying the political truce between Ruto and Odinga did not veto the constitution.
Nimesikia juzi mahakama moja anasema ati ile kamati ya mbele huko ya kuteua wale wanachama wa IEBC ataendelea kufanya kazi yake. Nasema hiyo ni upuzi. Ile kamati yaweze kufanya kazi manake ilikuwa tayari imevunjwa na bunge.
And though the commission has remained a skeleton following the exit of all commissioners, Odinga maintained that only a bipartisan approach of reconstitution will be acceptable.
Sasa hii ripoti ya kina Wandai na Kalonzo ikienda mbele ya bunge ipitishwe, ndio tutaanza mambo ya IEBC. Walikubaliana ya kwamba mambo ya kuunda upya ya tume ya uchaguzi mpaka tusirikishwe, mpaka tukubaliane na majina yote.
With Parliament set to resume its sittings mid-February, it is not clear yet when the report will be tabled before the House for consideration, with the government and opposition still split on the question of approaches to countering the cost of living. ODM leaders continue to hit out at government policies, including housing.
Kuna mradi mkubwa sana wa ujenzi wa nyumba kwa sababu all the old council estates baba, almost 13 of them across these constituencies, kutokea Kibira mpaka huku Makadara na kwingineko, wanasema wanaenda kubomoa nyumba zile watu wanaishi ndani, wajenge nyumba zingine. Vile baba mwenyewe amesema, sisi hatupingi ujenzi wa nyumba. Tunasema wananchi lazima washirikishwe katika huo mpango ndio waelewe nini kinaendelea, si ndio?
Ruto mwenyewe anatuambia vizuri ya kwamba watoto wazazi walipe school fees na e-citizen. Kama saizi ndio wazazi wanapeleka kuni shuleni walipe nayo school fee, wanapeleka kuku ndio walipe nayo school fee, wanapeleka ng'ombe ndio walipe nayo school fee. Wazazi watatumaje kuni kule e-citizen?
During the membership drive targeting to have 10 million members by April, Odinga welcomed educationist Janet Ouko from the Jubilee Party.
Only freedom that this country is enjoying now is courtesy of you, courtesy of the ODM party members. Mtupigie makofi. Na ndio nikasema nataka kujiunga na nyinyi. Umesikia ile maneno wanasema ya mambo ya education. Si mnanielewa?
Okay. I'll stop there because actually I wanted to zero in on what Raila Odinga said. Yes, Mr. Sifuna also made a good point about the housing, saying, consult with the people before, moving forward. We should have had public participation, which that's a good point. It's a valid point. But let's get back to Raila Odinga, what he said about NADCO. Because if we remember right, and I don't know, do you want me to play the video again or should I just say it? I'll just say it for now. Maybe later I'll play the video. That judge made it very clear that the process of choosing the next IEBC commissioners should not be stopped for the sake of political expediency. He mentioned that NADCO staff was unconstitutional. It's not anchored in law. I've been saying this forever. She's not. Goodia is saying that lady was not wearing. We'll get to that too, Goodia. But yeah, I've been saying that whole NADCO thing was unconstitutional. Yes, Raila is saying, you heard when Raila was speaking of that speech, he was saying that they will constitute or they will choose the new commissioners in the process of choosing the commissioner after that NADCO thing has been tabled in the parliament and passed by the parliament. And he also said that he rubbishes what the judge said. I don't know as who, because the last time I checked, Raila is not a lawyer. He's not a constitutional lawyer, so I don't know what he's talking about. But anyway, let's go forward. He said that that NADCO thing was legal because the parliament actually recognized that body to do that report, to come up with those proposals. And then he continues and says that they can only choose the next commissioners after this NADCO thing has been passed in parliament. The problem is Raila is not a lawyer. He does not have an idea of what the law says. Number one, the reason why this NADCO thing was unconstitutional, it is because it violates Article 109. Issues should emanate from the legislative body, debated thoroughly in the legislative body, and there should be what? Public participation, which it has not met all of the above. They just agreed a section of the parliament of two-party coalition, Azimio and Kenya Kwanza, to meet outside of the legislative body, which is in Bomas, including Kalonzo, who is not a member of the parliament, okay? And they drafted this thing. Now, the parliament consists of just more than these two coalitions, okay? Azimio and Kenya Kwanza. Okiya Omtata is independent. How do independents, who represented the independents at the Bomas Center? Who represented the Bomas, the Neo? Because this was an agreement between, talks between two-party coalition. It was not inclusive. It was not representative, okay? And the only body that has been given power to actually debate and come up with a proposal and to make laws and get fundings is the legislative body. not this BAMO NADCOM nonsense that was done outside the government. Raila Odinga, if you're watching this, please understand why that judge judged the way he judged. He judged that because it was not anchored in law. So all that proposal with the Chongwa and Kalonzo Musyoka is null and void. So when the parliament resumes, there's no way this NADCO thing will be proposed and will be passed over. Okay, because the court has already pronounced itself and declared it unconstitutional and not anchored in law. So, and he also said that is not a reason this proposal, and Kenya Kwanza, but that does not represent all Kenyans. And number two, okay, Atam Kiongea, the constitution is very clear, okay? The next commissioners should be appointed regardless of whether you want to go talking bombers or not. The law has to be, let's continue following the law. The law says that we have to get the next pick on the next Ninio. So Raila Odinga, stop with this NADCO nonsense. I told you, this man wants this NADCO proposal. Why did I say he wanted this NADCO proposal? Because the proposal actually proposes the idea of changing the constitution and having a position of official opposition and a prime minister and chief cabinet secretary, okay? That way they can actually accommodate some of these Azimio surrogates to go there and have a chair and have a salary with big carpets and big cars and fuel guzzling cars, and so they can be Mheshimiwa and have a bandera in their cars, okay? And beat traffic, the trappings of power. This is what they've been wanting. Remember, this is what he said when he first, before he started going to Mandamano, he said all this. Not only that, he also says something else that actually has been grabbing a lot of attention of late. Raila Odinga said that there's something big cooking. Something big is cooking. I'll read your response by one of the guys who saw that tweet and actually responded, and I think it was very funny. I think it was a very, very funny response. I will read it too, okay? Just give me a second, give me a second. Are you going to give me a second? Okay, give me a second so I can read it. Let me read it real quick. It is quite funny. This is what somebody wrote. Actually, it's not here. I don't know. Here it is. I'll read it for you. Are you ready? All right. This is what somebody said. After Raila telling us, Mr. Ogeto Makori wrote this. Because remember, Raila, this is what Raila wrote. A significant moment is on the horizon. Something extraordinary is about to happen. So the ODM folks, even if you go to these different platforms, you'll hear the ODM folks saying, Baba amejua kitu. Baba unajua naonanga mbele. Baba kukaribu kusema kitu. Baba unajua naonanga mbele. Here's what somebody wrote in Ogeto Makori, who writes, Tsunami, mawingu yametanda, kitendawili, date with destiny, mother of all demos, storm at the State House, reclaiming our victory, 10 million signatures, irreducible minimums, coffee and alike talks, no retreat, no surrender, eating omena at State House, Kanan, ndio baba, cows. Basically, he's saying that Raila has been taking us for a ride. He's saying, okay, yes, this whole Azimio drive is to drive, the aim is to have 10 million registered voters by April. It might be possible, but they will need the IEBC to help them with that. So we don't know what will happen. IEBC actually has to verify these members of whatever. So I don't know why they don't see the need of the IEBC. If I was actually Azimio, I would be quickly, I'll be more interested in actually choosing the next IEBC commissioner and choosing the next IEBC head, okay? But apparently Raila is not interested in that. I don't know why, but you never know. Speaking of which, Raila was in Kisumu today, and there's a lot happening in Kisumu. Actually, there's a lot happening in Kisumu, and there's a growing number of people, Kenyans, Luos, who are actually unsettled with Raila's Raila's rule or grip on Luo Nyanza. And I will show you some of them. Now, today, there's a man called Odoyo Owede. Okay, I will read his tweets. Let's get to it. Okay, are you ready for him? Odoyo Owede. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, friends, make sure you subscribe and like this video. Nataka yende huko nje ndio Raila ione and Babu Owino sees it and Wetangula and Sifuna so they can come here and challenge me. Nataka Sifuna kuja hapa and debate me since I heard he's a great debater. Kuja hapa, wachana, leave the Pokomo elder alone. Sifuna, leave the Pokomo elder alone. Come debate me the internet elder. Wachana na Pokomo elder mungata. Stop bullying him on the TV shows. Kuja video the Kenya Rebel hapa. But anyway, let's go on. Enough of that. Let's read something that Odo, I think Odoyo Owede was that's his name, if I'm not wrong, said something that was interesting. He was claiming the Ofafa Jericho, I think Ofafa Hall, is being grabbed by the Odingas, and he's standing against that. So let's listen to his speech. I think it was interesting. It's something that maybe we should, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. As we listen to Odoyo, Odoyo Owede, take it over.
Leader, you must call them together and we talk and we agree on the leadership. When you tell people that court orders in this country must be obeyed, even those that return of alcohol to the bona fide leaders of the Luo Council of Elders must also be obeyed. So if court orders have to be obeyed, after he, your alcohol must also be obeyed. You don't know what you do, you cannot come out. What's the main logic to you? You want to go and a tiro magoganda. To go and a tiro magoganda. You court orders, Yakalu, Niketi, court order Mamacho. No Fafa Hall, Yakabedi, Wet Council of Elders, Monday Kitty carriages trout, Paso, Man open Yakabin obey. What say correct? Nira Tiro Maria Lu, Wabiro Lua, Kataremu Kataji Gore,
Okay, so basically, let me make that for those who maybe might not be conversant in that what he was trying to say. Basically, what he was trying to say is this: the Ofafa Hall is being rumored to be the Odinga family want to take over the Ofafa Hall, okay? And Owede was saying that, hey, listen, this Ofafa Hall belongs to the Luo Council of Elders, and their names should be on the title registered as them being the owners of that Ofafa Hall. Owede has been speaking about this for a while, and is saying that the Odingas want to actually take over this Ofafa Hall. So he was saying that the court orders should be respected, okay? And Luos should actually stand up and fight for the ownership of this, because the Luo Council of Elders, basically, they are the representative of the Luo community. Okay, so he's saying that every Luo should actually stand beside this and not let Raila Odinga and his family, Odinga family, to take over the hall. That is what Owede is saying. And I've been saying there's a growing people, Luos, who are actually starting to look at the Odingas sideways. They're looking at it like, this guy, man, this family, there's something's not right with them. I don't know. Something's not sitting right. There's a growing discontent among the Luo people who are actually starting to see the Odingas as people who are not advancing their interest. Okay, and this is an example Owede talking about. Of course, there are some people who might argue that Owede was looked alirukwa. Okay, as you know, in Nyanza province, Raila, when he picks nominees, anakuchagua. Akiambia pishwa, unaenda. So if akikuruka, some people usually get disgruntled and they turn against him. And so some people are arguing that Owede is only doing this because alirukwa. Something also happened in that. I showed you a part of it yesterday of what happened in that Caesar Handa funeral, where the ODM aligned politicians led by Nani anaitwaje Orengo, Otiende Amolo, who else, and some other folks who had an exchange were actually attacking CS Eliud Ewalo and PS Raymond Omolo. I mean, it was ugly. I didn't see, when I looked at CS Eliud Omolo's speech, and I also listened to Raymond Omolo's speech, granted that they work for UDA, granted that they work for the Serikali, I felt that the attack from the ODM side, the vitriol that these guys actually were receiving while they sat there, the matusi ambao walikuwa wanatukanwa mbele ya umati ya watu just for the fact that they were working for this government. I mean, that was unacceptable in all levels. I mean, that was unacceptable. I will play you a little bit. There's one guy who stood up and say, I thought he was very, he was very reasonable. He was passionate regardless, and he stood up and say, you know what? We as a Luo nation, if we meet up, we can disagree. Some people work for the government, some people are UDA, some people are for ODM. But there should be a democratic space, whether we tunatukanana, whether tunasema nini, whether we argue, whether we don't argue, we argue. Sorry, he said, we can argue issues and not disagree on issues. But hii maneno ya matusi, let's stop it. We are part of one community. We are part of the Luo community. This reared its ugly head in that, and I'll show you that in that exchange. It was a very nasty exchange. Mr. What's his name? Mr. Orengo being one of them. Orengo is a rabble rouser. Orengo amependa uchokozi sana, especially since he's become a governor. I don't know what's going on with him. He should start first explaining to her what those 900 million went to. But I'll play you that clip so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about, because this was unacceptable on all levels. Here it is. I want you to just give you an example of what was going on then. I will show you so you know what I'm talking about. Here it is. All right, mko ready? Aya. I'll interpret. There Orengo is basically saying that, remember when he said that UDA members cannot speak in his presence. And remember, he said, if you see any UDA member, beat them up and I'll pay you. I have the receipt, I'll represent you in the court, and I will pay you. Beat them up wherever you see them. That's what Orengo said. Now he's trying to play politics. But anyway, this other guy was actually being like, hey, listen.
Mwarado, your opposition yanyo jo serikali yanyo your opposition to wabe together. Manya kajiluore donge. Mane manyaka wate manyaka liluore. Maongi kumwadi ma thuro wanjo luono nyualwaka. Kaka unu ne un hapuber. Kenda winjo gwegi kane chama mar ODM no se wacho ni ng'ato nono imiyo tiko mabondo ka. Ani mana kao oburu kai. Kaketo Raila piny. Ni yawa.
Okay, let me explain this, because I see that's a very good question, good here, because a lot of people are lost in translation there. I'm sorry, there's no subtitles. What's going on is this. Here's the issue. Remember, like I said, what's his face? Orengo. Orengo once said that he was actually praising, because there was an incident back then in Siaya where Odinga was there and there were some UDA members present and they were chased away with gunshots and everything. Okay? And the next day, Orengo was in another gathering and he was like, oh, I was so surprised. I've never seen the UDA people run like that. They were chased away with guns and they were roughed up. And Orengo proceeded in saying that, that was a good job. And he actually named one of the guys as the general of Nyanza province, and say that whenever you see a UDA members anywhere, They should not be speaking in public. And not only that, when you see a UDA member, any of the UDA member in Nyanza, beat them up, rough them up. Don't leave them, beat them up. And I will pay you for that. You have to show me the receipt that you beat them up. I will pay you. And if they take you to court or take you to jail, I will bail you and I will represent you. That is what Orengo said. Fact. I'm not making up. I can play the video. I actually made a video on that, okay, in one of my lives. That is what Orengo said. So here he is. He was in this Caesar Handa's funeral. Okay, rest in peace to that gentleman. I didn't know him personally. So PS Owalo, not PS Raymond Omolo, okay, was there and gave a groveling speech, eulogizing about his friend. He mentioned how he met him and how they had a working relationship, and condoled with the family and the daughter who he seems also he worked with. Okay, a very nice speech. And he actually continued and said, I'm not here to talk politics. I'm simply here because I came to bury my friend and condole with the family, and said, and speaking of which, the government's plan in this area is to support farming, support our young folks who go to Maranda, high school or whatever the case, and also see that after they finish school, they can have jobs. That's the agenda of the government that I represent, that I work for the region. Nothing political about that. He simply condoled with the family, gave a speech. It was really, nice speech, and went ahead and sat and said, all the other stuff, let's leave it alone. When Owalo took place, Owalo stood up and spoke to, say the same thing. Hey, listen, I'm here to bury this man, whatever the case. And there was another gentleman who was actually speaking in that clip. He was more passionate and he was more like head on. He was like, you know what? I don't give a fuck about you, ODM folks. You say something about me, I'm coming for you. I don't care. I'm not going to be disrespected. So what if I work for UDA? You're not going to tell me I can't speak just because I work for the government, okay? We should be able to disagree and sit down as one community. All that talk about, UDA can't talk, I'm not having it. So ODM can fuck off, basically, okay? I'm just giving you a raw translation of what he's saying. So then Orengo came in and said, Orengo, being a lawyer, he was playing it really Orengo. But anyway, Orengo got up and started saying that, you know what? He was like, listen, I know I say that, nobody who is a UDA person can speak when I'm around. I just wanted to see and to prove a point that I can be tolerant. That's why I let Owalo and all these UDA guys talk. That's how he spin it. Then he continued to say that, by the way, I'm the one who told, I told Raila to nominate certain candidates, including Oburu, okay? Because as you know, Nyanza's number one discontent, especially with the ODM, is the way they carry out their nomination, okay? One person can be popular in an area. He can be liked by the people, approved by the people, part of the people, raised by the people. Raila Odinga comes in and he receives a bag from somebody who's less known, less liked, and he will say that is the person who receives the nomination. So the popular guy who's liked by the people, raised by the people, is by the people, is left in the cold. This has been happening in CI. Raila goes in and nominates his brother Oburu. Oburu has never been voted by anybody, okay? As a matter of fact, people really don't like him, okay? But just because it's Raila Odinga's brother, exactly, party politics are always on the funeral. So that's the biggest discontent among Luo, Nyanza politics people, wananchi. Raila Odinga goes by whoever gives him the big bag, receives the nomination. He doesn't care if you're popular. He doesn't care if you're liked by the people. He just goes by whoever, whatever. If you are his family member, he'll choose you. And notice that the Siaya governor, Orengo, actually tried to protect Raila and made it seem, in that clip, he made it seem like it was his idea to tell Raila to nominate his brother. It wasn't Raila Odinga. He's trying to protect Raila from that, to seem that he is to blame, not Raila Odinga. And we all know it is not that. It is Raila Odinga who actually called that. They're trying to protect Raila Odinga because, as I'm telling you, with time, I'm not saying that the Luo Nyanza will overnight turn into UDA zone. No, but there's a room for an alternative. And what the ODM people who have failed to understand is this: you cannot continue doing what you're doing. You cannot going to nominate people without letting people pick their own choice of candidate. I know you are doing this because you want the money. The people who have the money are the ones who are giving you money and you're nominating them. But this gives space for discontent. The disgruntled supporters, the people at the ground, the disgruntled leaders that you skipped, like Owidi or Oyode, whatever his name he was speaking, you see, they are turning and they're actually opening people's eyes, exposing this undemocratic process. And it is starting to make ODM unpopular. This is going to go on. It is going to go on. And I'm telling you, again, I'm saying this, UDA will not be the most popular party in Nyanza or Luo Nyanza. That we can agree. But in the future, whether it's UDA or another political outfit, it will challenge ODM in a massive way, because this undemocratic process shall be overtaken. I'm telling you, Raila is holding a lot of these ODM people together. If Raila was to get out of the scene, I'm telling you, ODM will crumble overnight. And they know this. Half of these people who get nominated, MPs who are in parliament right now, they behave the way they behave because they know the only reason they are where they are is because Raila aliwapatia mkono. These people have no self-earned support from the people. They're just there going there in the strength of Raila Odinga. That's why you see, what's his name? I forgot his name. The one who was getting into it with Abdel Nasser a few weeks ago. I forgot his name. Who's really out against LGBT. I forgot his name. He walked off KTN the other day. You know, every time he talks, everyone they talk. You're going listen to them talk. Listen to them. Kajwang, like I told you, Kajwang was literally twerking for Raila in front of Raila Odinga. Twerking. Google the word. Okay, let's hear what Mr. Goody, Miss. I don't know if Goody. I don't know if you're Miss or Mr. You need to tell me what's going on. Okay, Goody is telling me I can't understand why people are conversing for the elections now rather than team up and make Kenya great again. Thank you. You know, because I told you there's a good chance. I'm a prophet. I'm a prophet. Oh, I told you probably we are going to have a referendum. We are going to have a plebiscite. Pretty soon we are going to have a plebiscite. These people are going to push for this narco nonsense illegally. They'll shove it on your throat as a people. That's why you see they're doing this party nomination, parties things. And you already saw Raila Odinga is saying, I'm not going to respect the courts with regards to narco. Narco mpaka ipitishwe in the parliament. Why do you think he's saying this? Because they have no plan of doing this. And he's using that. The president already said that he doesn't respect what the court walikata joile story kwenda Haiti. Now he will not respect that court's decision on the affordable housing. He still wants to take it to the Supreme Court. While it has been declared unconstitutional in the High Court, it has been declared unconstitutional in the Appellate Court. Why are you still going to the Supreme Court? Okay, this is because both parties, both Raila Odinga and Ruto, will use their influence to railroad their way through the judiciary and pass this NADCO. They want to pass it by force. And they're going to use this flimsiest excuse saying that the people want it. That is what they're going to tell us. You already hear it. Raila alisema ati mimi hii kitu ipitishwe ninio. Ilipitishwe kwa bunge. And I've explained to you here how this thing is unconstitutional. because it does not represent, the NADCO proposal does not represent the people's will. It is a conjured up an idea by Raila Odinga and William Ruto to benefit the two and their minions. Ask yourself, was your local MP represented in that NADCO report while they were talking to it at Bomas? Is Kalonzo your representative? They say, oh, it was a talk between the two coalitions, Kalonzo, the Azimio and Kenya Kwanza. What about me, who is an independent? Who represented me? I'm not in the coalition. My representative was Okiya Omtata. Where was he? He was not invited. That is what I'm saying. It is unconstitutional. The thing did not emanate from the legislative body. This idea started from what? Remember, the BBI was stopped because it was something that did not start from the people. It was something that started in order for us to have a referendum, it is the people who must ask for the referendum. And how do you know that the people want it? You have to go back and respect Article 81 of the Constitution, where you have to have what? Public participation. Public participation. Something that these fake leaders don't want, because they know the answer to that. People don't want the change of the Constitution. The problem is not the Constitution. The problem is implementation of the Constitution. But Raila doesn't want this. Raila anataka cheo. Anataka yo kiti ya prime minister. That is one. And he can fly over. Vile unaona Ruto na fly. Get his private jet fly. You remember when Kenyatta made him a AU sijui nini, construction worker or whatever the case is, or peacemaker. He went and flew to Ivory Coast and Cote d'Ivoire and met with Gakpo. Yeah? Yes, good, I'm a prophet. Shaba. Yeah? He went and met Cote d'Ivoire in Adenio. He was flying around. He likes that. He wants to be seen as a head of state. Amechoka na nyinyi kumuita baba tialala tibi mtababa bobo. He wants something also. That's why he wants this NADCO. It is not about that is juu anataka tigarama ya maisha iende. Raila Odinga and Ruto are billionaires, dollar billionaires. Unafikiri garama ya maisha inawasumbua? You think? I see why Ruto might want this, because he's in a bad place. No one is buying his policies, taxes, garama ya maisha, corruption, name it, loans, madeni, name it. He's in a bad place politically. That's why he has to actually pay attention, give Raila audience. But they have to respect the Constitution. As the judge said, we cannot stop respecting the law in the name of political expediency. Mpaka wapishe jaji. Wapitishe waninio the next commissioner. Okay? Raila, did you hear? I think Raila, somebody should read Raila the ruling again. That NADCO thing is unconstitutional. Tuliwambia kitambo before even Kalonzo sat down and shook hands with Ichung'wah. It was unconstitutional. So why do you still want to take it to the parliament? Why are you wasting time? Because all Okiya Omtata will do, in fact, Okiya Omtata will have to do nothing. He doesn't have to go back to the court. Utaipeleka hapo parliament and somebody will stand and say, hey, here's the judgment from judgment. What was her name? That's judge that said. The court has already pronounced itself on the issue. Why are you still taking it to the parliament? Raila Odinga saa ingine hata sijui. Who advises you? Otiende Amolo, one of my favorite politicians. Otiende Amolo, what are you doing bwana? Sina uongea na mzee bwana. Aache kujininio hivyo kwa umati ya watu. NADCO cannot go anywhere. It is not anchored in law. That is what the law judge said. I'll play you something by Latif. Latif will say something that's an eye-opener that I was happy to hear for somebody like Latif, because I usually think that your Spice FM, Latif, Ndu, and CT, okay? I like CT, the old guy, and Latif. Ndu is okay, but she's annoying. I feel like she's annoying. When I hear her talk, it's just like somebody scratching a chalk on the wall. It's just, shut up. But anyway, I like Latif, I like CT. CT kind of has this old wise man who is prodding, asking questions, trying to find answers, okay? And Latif is this journalist who, you know, anakufinyilia akiona kama umekufinya sana, he lets the gas go kidogo, you know. CT just wants to hear herself talk. I mean, not CT, but Ndu. I know she's from Nigeria. And there's something about that, I don't know. She just comes off pretentious. No offense. Probably it's just you, but just get on my now. But anyway, Latif was saying something that actually was really eye-opening. I will play for you that video. He was saying that actually if Raila Odinga was in the same position as Ruto, he will do the same thing. That's what he said. For somebody coming from Latif, so Latif who's a fair-minded journalist, I think it was something that was to behold. I was appalled when I heard this. I'll play you the video. That's what I'm saying. And the whole purpose of this is to mention ODM, okay? ODM has been kicking up dust in this whole recruitment thing. Speaking of things, raising the political temperatures in the country. Some of it is justified, some of it is not. Alex, Rebel salutes. Thank you for calling me a jihadist. This jihadist, the terrorist, is talking like a lame duck beggar. I always appreciate Alex. Thank you, Alex, for your contribution. I'll see you on the other platform where I will debate you if they let me in. Of course, you know, sometimes I feel like I bully you, so I'm not going to do it. But Karibu, thank you for your comment. You're really Alex, unataka kuingia tuchapane dakika mbili. If you Alex, unataka nikupatie link kuingia hapa tuchapane instead of abusing me. Anyway, Alex is one of the I always like debating because he has a unique view on ODM. He has the inside view, especially if you, let me tell you something secret about Alex. If you want to get off nerves, say something about Simba Arati. Alex will go off. So this is how I start. Mr. G, I will say, Mr. G, I'll call Azimio terrorist organization. Mr. G will lose his mind. Name something about Simba Arati and Alex will be on your case. So that's how you get them. I like Alex. Me too, you know, he always gets, sometimes, you know, I know you don't like it. I know. The feeling is mutual. You made my day actually with your tweet. So that's what I'm saying, Alex. Karibu sana. Tutakutana huko kwa Jex if Jex lets me in. Jex, you know, there's a memo that has been passed around, I've heard, that Kenya Rebel is not supposed to get in the EO show ingine. But it's nice to what is it? You're so nice. Okay, Alex, you know what? I'll be nice. I'll be nice when I come to Afrique 24. I'll be nice. From now on, I won't call names. I'll just be there, make my point. I won't even challenge your comment. I'll be so nice. I'll be so nice for now. Subscribe, Alex. And you can be here as you know, help me chambua siasa ya Kisii. Between Osoro and your buddy Simba Arati. You saw Simba Arati make a speech yesterday. He told us that if you come there with this attitude, you can debate well because you have valid points. Oh, thank you, Alex. I appreciate your feedback. Okay, I will try to. Like I said, yeah. I was curious to ask Alex about Simba Arati, but you know, I don't know how long it's going to stay. But yeah, just I saw Simba Arati when he was at Nairobi and he said, I miss you guys. You guys should come visit me or whatever the case is. And according to Alex, when I listened to his submission, Alex was telling us that, you know what? Simba Arati might be a good candidate to take the mantle from Mzee Raila Odinga. Ukiacha matusi, you're a man we can support and elevate. Sina matusi, Alex. Nyinyi ndio mnanitukana. I don't have matusi. Alex, sina matusi. I don't have any matusi. I don't. Nyinyi ndio unitukana. Okay, I don't know. I'll call Jakes. I'll call everyone. Mi sina matusi. Nimeokoka. Everyone, I'm saved. I've changed. I'm not matusiring anybody. Sitatukana mtu. Nimewacha. I'll be elevated by Alex, I guess. I don't know. But but anyway, I was just curious. Alex, I wish I could bring you in, but I know you probably are heading to the other side. Actually, I'll wrap up in a few. In my view, if there was somebody to take the mantle from Raila Odinga, in my view, Sifuna is my guy. In my personal, if there was somebody I would vote for, personally, I like Otiende Amolo more, though he doesn't have that aggressive, But to me, where your dog call like it. Hi. Oh Lord. Okay. I don't know. I'll be so nice when I go to the other people's platform. Hata sikuizi, hey, jamani, to. Goody, I'm nice. I don't know where these people are getting this idea to mean him to mbaya. I just debate. Anyway, let me not make it about me. Let me make it about the show, actually. The issue. Amaniaji. Okay. As I wrap up, let me finish up with Mr. What's his name? What's his face? Latif is who I wanted to play. There's a clip of Latif here which I actually really was interested in playing because, as I say, you think they like me? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see that. But yeah, I wanted to play a clip by Latif before I finish. Like I say, Latif is one of those who actually, he seems like a really reasonable guy. He always asks the right question, in my opinion. Him and City, they wanna chambua maneno. They ask it. No disrespect to Miss Ndu. I like Ndu, but she's anyway, whatever. But anyway, just to I want to play this Latif clip, then I'll wrap up and tatoma view yangu, then I'll finish up. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's play Miss Latif. Mr. Latif. Ladies and gentlemen, let me play Latif so you can get what I'm trying to say about Latif. Here is what Latif said. All right, here's Latif. Here is Latif.
It's to see that then to be the opposition position. Ruto was the I see the difference between a politician campaigning to get into office and a politician who's now in office. Campaigning to get into office, particularly from a position considered then to be the opposition position. Ruto was the deputy president and official leader of the opposition at the same time. Paradox of Kenya. So at that point, it was very easy for him to, point fingers and say, this guy's just because they don't get it. The cost of living, just lower the cost of fuel. What taxes? The taxes mean just bring down the taxes. Versus the guy who gets into office. Even then, when he was saying, I'm going to lower taxes, he knew there's some taxes I cannot touch. He knew that there are very many other factors that go with this. He knew it, but it was important for him to say it. So then later we can hold him accountable and ask him, are you the one who said you're going to lower taxes? So how come you cannot lower taxes? I look at politicians and I feel sorry for them because they really can't be honest. They can't. He couldn't be honest then and say, what, guys, I won't be able to change much in terms of taxation. In fact, I need to add a bit more taxes. He wouldn't get elected. And on the other side now, Raila, who would have been doing exactly the same thing that Ruto is doing now, is one who's out there saying, this guy, hata kumark KCPE ameshindwa. The only changes would be, few changes. The prevailing circumstances that were there then have led us to where we are today. For any leader to have made radical changes that have come out as completely unpopular,
Okay. Very nicely put by Latif. I forgot his first name. I enjoy his journalistic approach to issues. Again, he's taking a position that not most people take, but I do take that. I kind of subscribe to what he's saying. That these politicians are not honest; they are all liars. Okay, he just mentioned that Ruto was not honest with us when he was campaigning, because if you would have told you that he was going to raise taxes, then nobody would have voted for him. And then he said, Raila, on the other hand, was in the government and was actually a proponent of this, the policies that actually led us to this position we are in. But now you see him on the other side, outside government, talking about this guy cannot even mark the KCP, whatever the case is, and he's out here raising taxes. While he was on the other side, he was actually supporting what Uhuru Kenyatta was doing. And this is the whole thing that I was always my political position. It's summed up by what Latif has actually said. That's why I played that clip, is that we are all being played, but we are so passionately divided, we can't even hear each other talk. Okay? And the Mungatana versus Sifuna's conversation pretty much, captured the mood of Kenyans. There's one side who are just really disgusted by everything the other is doing, that they don't even want to listen to the other. Mungatana could not even get his word out. But again, we celebrated that, oh my God, Sifuna had a great, destroyed Mungatana. To be honest with you, Mungatana was being, sorry, not Mungatana. Sifuna was being out of line, kidogo. Yes, he was telling the truth. Yes, he had valid points, but he was out of line. Maybe he was acting like me at Africa 24. But anyway, I'm just saying. What do you think? Okay, Goody is telling us breaking news here that King Charles III has been diagnosed with cancer. Oh, okay. I'm not a huge fan of the not Vatican, but the King, Queen, Prince of England. I'm not. But he's human, so yeah. But I do not feel any kind of way about that. If you know the history, King Charles is not he's not a good person. No. So what can I say? I wish I could say get well soon, but I don't know. I just don't like him. I won't pretend that I like him. The British Empire has been a destructive force in the world, especially Africa. So I don't really care much about them, per se. So no, but to my point, which I was making, and I want to wrap this up with this. Okay, this is what somebody said. Somebody, I will. Is it? I'm a Dida. Was it Dida? You guys are you aware of who Dida is? Abdi Dida, whatever. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get his Dida Abdi. I give up. He's a professor. He made a really good point on the issue of Sifuna and the ODM and Gabriel Oguda. If you know, Gabriel Oguda is ODM Ninio. Oh, thank you. Good rundown, Kenreba. The rows are part of Kenya's furniture. I'm a Republican. Thank you. Yes. I want to finish with this tweet, and I think it actually addresses Sifuna, Gabriel Oguda, and most of my friends on the ODM side, or Azimio for that matter. He tweeted something that I think we ought to read and pay attention to, because this seems to what is going on. And I want to finish with this as I wrap up. I usually try to get to 1 minute mark, 1 hour mark, not 1 minute. We shall read it together, and I'll then wrap it up, because I think this is a really good tweet here. Before I read it, here is a tweet that this is a tweet by Oguda, that Amnedida was actually referring. This was highlighted by Gabriel Oguda. Gabriel Oguda usually has these phrases that he likes. The fear is gone and the clouds are gathering, and a light me here, and there's another one, tears in my eyes. Okay, it's kind of repetitive, but anyway. So Oguda posted this in his post. It was an original post by Anderson Maina, which says, there is a form of an inhuman and vicious streak that is very evident on your president's face and voice. I don't know how many of you can feel or see it, but it is very evident if you are the type that observes human behavior. His voice has a tonal variation that is full of cruelty. His smile is often insidious, as a smile I have seen with the white people, cold and fake. There's something wrong somewhere. Even President Moi had a mirth that was infectious to those around him. What I see now is coldness, depth, hate, a cold-blooded aura often found in narcissists. That is what Anderson Maina wrote, and Gabriel Oguda actually posted that by adding his usual, the fear is gone and the clouds are gathering. Now, this is what Engineer Mohammed Tachedida wrote, which I think was very fair. Okay? In wrapping up, I got 2 minutes. All right, I'll finish it in 2 minutes. Gabriel, this is what Engineer Mohammed Tachedida wrote. Gabriel Oguda's often repeated phrase, fear is gone, isn't actually about fear, because the era of political fear was long gone. If fear wasn't gone, Moi wouldn't have left power in 2002. Oguda uses the fear is gone to celebrate and applaud Lord of civility, decorum, and decency in a political opinion. Whilst erosion of civility in our public discourse is a national issue and isn't limited to a party or a political group, the tendency to express hate, violent opinions, and restrained vitriol has been the defining character of ODM adherents, or at least the majority. ODM's long history of electoral losses has depleted from the party followers every sense of social propriety, political decency, and politeness. Repeated losses have created in the party and its followers a culture of disdain and anger, not just for the serving president, but for everyone in high office, including those from ODM's own political backyard. Remember how they were abusing the guy from Sona, Junet Muhane. Today, a foreigner in Kenya following our discourse on Twitter would think that Kenyans loathe the president, the MPs, the senators, MCS, CSS, PSS, CEOs, and every DG of every government agency. Yet in reality, it's a political culture of a small but bitter group that has permeated to social platform. It behooves ODM family to understand that ODM is one formidable party in Kenya. Even though they've not been lucky to form government thus far, the door to victory is not closed to them. They still have viable path to presidency. Embracing political tolerance, dismantling ethno-political partitions they created, employing persuasive and aspirational language to woo voters is an option open to them in pursuit of victory. But the fear is gone and the clouds are gathering as a slogan to encourage indecency, to desensitize young people to hate, make insults the norm, and disrespect a routine is a sure path to creating a counter-hate and disrespect in equal measure. It's not a path that portends success in foreseeable future. Ladies and gentlemen, I could have not said it more. You can go read it from Engineer Mohammed Deda, in his page. I just wanted to make that point that ODM actually, like I say, he has a good point that I've been thinking about. I could not have said it better. Data is probably telling us ODM is actually going down to heckling, throwing insults here and there and not making valid points. Even as Zifuna was rebattling in his exchange with Mungatana, he was coming off as disrespectful because he will not let even Mungatana talk. He was just calling him a liar, stop lying, Pokomo elder, whatever. You might have a valid point. And like I've just been told by Alex here, sometimes it's not what you say, it's the way you say it. If you're coming off disrespectful, like maybe I have come off disrespectful when I'm at Afrique 24 or other channels, nobody pays attention to what I say, regardless of how valid my points might be. because I'm out there with my emotions. I'm like, oh, you jihadis, you ODM jihadis, you ODMs Junini, and I'm calling people con men and all that. People don't hear what you have to say. They just hear the negative things that you say. And they look at you as somebody who's disruptive, disrespectful, not caring what to, and they won't take your position. They'd rather they will even sympathize with the actual people who you're trying to expose. That's the message. So ODM, tone it down, be more persuasive, be more respectful, stop heckling, and people might hear you. So I can even take that lesson from Mr. Dida. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Goody, I would like to thank you. Alex, I would like to thank you to everybody who else who have watched this session. Please make sure you like this video. Like it. And if you haven't subscribe. I'm here every day. Same time, same place. Please like it. Like the video, share it, comment, tell your friends about this channel, and subscribe, like, share, comment, support. Okay, and if you see me on another platform, I'll probably be nicer. I've had a feedback from Goody. I've had some feedback from somebody else told me that on the other channel. I've had feedback from Alex. So maybe it's time for me to pull up my socks personally. Okay, the same way I'm telling ODM people to actually tone it down. Maybe I should take on my advice too. So again, ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, friends, and Mr. Comrades, this is Kenya Revolutionary. Follow me on X. You can find me Kenya Revolutionary, and also this channel right here. If you can see that name, you can type it on YouTube. You can find me, and we'll do so. Thank you very much, Goody. As usual, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and peace and blessings.